Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Kubros Masters of the Universe He-Man. Recommended for ages 10 and up. It only has 139 pieces. You are probably asking yourself, what's a Kubros? What is a Kubros? A Kubros is basically a brick building figure that has some posability to it, and it builds some of your favorite fantasy characters and characters from the movies. Down below it is not recommended for children of 3 years old, 3 years of age, because it does have some small parts. On the front, it has an image of what He-Man will look like. Inside the box, it gives you a better idea of what He-Man's going to look like. This is figure number 1. And on the back, other figures available. There is He-Man. There's Skeletor, which sadly Spot did not pick up. I so want to get Skeletor there. Spock from Star Trek. Master Chief. We have Ezio, and the T-800 Guardian. This comes to us from the folks over at Megablocks. www.collectors.megablocks, that's megablocks.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. I'm also going to get it built, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Kubros Masters of the Universe He-Man. Don't go anywhere, guys. There's more heading your way. Stay tuned. To help you get this little guy built, the folks over at Megablocks, of course, give you an instruction guide. Indicating on the front, it's Kubros 01 He-Man. Now, the interesting thing about the Kubros is that, for the most part, other when you build sets, you, of course, are expanding out the whole time. Interesting thing about Kubros is that you're layering it. You're starting from the bottom, and you're working your way up until finally you get He-Man right here. A pretty straightforward, easy to follow instructions. Again, an ad on the inside there showing you the other Kubros. To get He-Man, I would have to get Skeletor. I want to get those two side by side. A really interesting line though. Master Chief also looks very interesting too. Spot's going to be having a look at a couple of these that he's picked up. So we're going to have a look at those in a series of different videos. And then on the back, we've got the Kubros logo. Moving that to the side, let's have a look at He-Man. Now fully built. Build time, I would say, it took me probably about maybe 20 minutes. I was doing this while watching the television. Funny enough, I think I was also watching Three's Company. I don't know why, relevant-wise, I had to add that to it. But we have a finished He-Man now in Kubros. He does come with his power sword, and he also comes with his shield, both of which you can remove. They just attach exactly like any other Megablocks brick building set. It just attaches to the hand. It attaches to the outside of the hand. As for the power sword, it also attaches to the top of the hand. As you probably can already see, He-Man does have posability in his arms. His arms do move forward and back. They don't move out, and he does have a rotation in the head. It's a very cool, very blocky interpretation of He-Man. I can't recall a moment when He-Man has looked this blocky. He's got his eyebrows there, somewhat the equivalent of a nose and his mouth, and then he's got his curly blonde locks there. I like also when you build it, you offset the square brick from the round brick, that it does give it that indication of kind of a curly lock. This would also be paired perfectly with a Battle Cat. I don't know if they would ever venture into the realm of Battle Cat or some of the other He-Man characters. I guess they probably are just maybe for the time being doing iconic characters and maybe doing one or two from those properties. He also does have his his He-Man chest armor there, his loincloth, and also his boots. For displaying purposes, let's put his power sword back in his hand. It just attaches just to the top of his hand like so, lining, of course, up the brick here. There we go. And you can kind of, I guess you can kind of pose his head. Have the sword up by the power of Grayskull, and he is He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. The instructions, one thing I didn't do, not that I'm breaking the mold here, but one thing I didn't do is that the instructions had the eyes angled. These little eye sockets. They're not the easiest. Let's just move the arm out. Let's move the sword out of the way. The little eye areas, you build them as a a black singular circular piece, and then you add a white ring around it, and then you add a half eyelid to the top of it. But the instructions indicate that you can, well, it indicates when you put them in to angle the eyes so that they're more angry. In fact, let me show you the instruction guide once again. But I thought, you know what? He-Man's not that angry, so I went with more a calmer He-Man. But you could just pop these out, rotate them slightly, and get a more angled, angry look for He-Man if you so wish. Again, let's revisit the power sword back into his hand. And put his shield also into his hand. I like these. For a blockier, much more squared interpretation of He-Man, I think it works. Love to get my hands on the Skeletor as well. These should be now in stores. Again, they only have released a certain few so far, but hopefully we can see an expansion of the line in the coming, well, in the coming year or so. And again, these are the other figures available. Love to get my hands on that Skeletor. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the new Mega Bloks, Kubros. We're looking at figure number 1, He-Man. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.